In an extraordinary display of diplomatic grace and spiritual devotion, the sovereign prince of one of Europe's smallest yet most influential nations stepped through the hallowed halls of Vatican City to meet with one of the world's most powerful religious leaders, creating a moment that resonates far beyond the marble corridors where history was made. The meeting between Prince Albert II of Monaco and Pope Francis on January 18 marks not just another ceremonial exchange between dignitaries but represents a profound continuation of centuries-old ties between the Grimaldi dynasty and the Catholic Church, a relationship that has shaped the very fabric of this Mediterranean jewel perched dramatically on the French Riviera. If you want to stay updated on the most fascinating royal stories from around the world, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and drop a comment below telling us what you think about this historic meeting because your engagement helps us bring you more incredible content like this. Prince Albert II, who has ruled Monaco since 2005 following the death of his father Prince Rainier III, arrived at the Vatican accompanied by his wife Princess Charlene, the former South African Olympic swimmer who captured the world's attention when she married into one of Europe's most glamorous royal families in 2011. This marked the very first time that the couple received an official audience with Pope Francis, making it a milestone moment not only in their reign but in the ongoing relationship between the tiny principality and the Holy See. The significance of this meeting cannot be understated when you consider that Monaco, despite its diminutive size of just over 2 square kilometers making it the second smallest country in the world, punches far above its weight in international affairs, and its Catholic heritage runs deep through every aspect of its national identity and constitutional framework. The Grimaldi family has ruled Monaco for over 7 centuries, and throughout this remarkable span of history, the Catholic faith has remained central to the principality's identity and governance. The Constitution of Monaco explicitly states that Catholicism is the state religion, and the reigning prince must be a practicing Catholic, demonstrating just how intertwined faith and monarchy are in this unique European nation. Prince Albert himself has maintained this tradition throughout his reign, regularly attending religious services and supporting Catholic institutions both within Monaco and internationally. His commitment to his faith is not merely ceremonial but deeply personal, reflecting values instilled in him from childhood by his devoutly Catholic mother, the late Princess Grace Kelly, the Hollywood icon who became European royalty in what many still consider the wedding of the century back in 1956. Princess Charlene's presence at this historic audience adds another layer of meaning to the occasion. Since marrying Prince Albert, she has embraced her role with dedication despite facing numerous challenges including persistent tabloid scrutiny and health issues that have occasionally kept her from public duties. Her journey from Olympic athlete to Princess of Monaco mirrors in some ways the transformation of Princess Grace from Hollywood star to royal consort, and both women have had to navigate the complex intersection of public expectation, personal faith, and royal responsibility. Charlene's attendance at the Vatican represents her continued commitment to the spiritual and diplomatic aspects of her role, standing alongside her husband as they represent Monaco on the world stage. The meeting with Pope Francis comes at a particularly interesting time in both Monaco's history and the broader context of the Catholic Church's relationship with modern monarchy. Pope Francis, known for his progressive stance on many social issues and his emphasis on humility and service to the poor, has redefined papal diplomacy in many ways since his election in 2013. His meetings with world leaders often focus not just on protocol but on substantive discussions about climate change, migration, poverty, and social justice, topics that align closely with Prince Albert's own passions and initiatives. The prince has long been recognized as one of the world's most environmentally conscious leaders, dedicating much of his reign to ocean conservation, climate action, and sustainable development through his foundation and various international partnerships. During such papal audiences, discussions typically range across multiple subjects of mutual interest and concern. While the exact details of private conversations between the Pope and visiting dignitaries remain confidential, we can reasonably assume that Prince Albert and Pope Francis discussed matters of global importance including environmental stewardship, humanitarian efforts, and the role of faith in addressing contemporary challenges. Monaco has historically served as a bridge between different nations and interests, hosting important international meetings and serving as a neutral ground for dialogue, and this diplomatic tradition likely featured in their conversation. The Principality's commitment to charitable works, particularly through the Princess Grace Foundation and Prince Albert's own foundation, aligns perfectly with the Catholic Church's emphasis on serving those in need. The visual symbolism of this meeting should not be overlooked either. Vatican audiences are carefully choreographed events steeped in centuries of tradition and protocol. The exchange of gifts, a customary part of such meetings, carries diplomatic and symbolic weight. Typically, visiting heads of state present the Pope with items of cultural or religious significance from their nations, while the Pope offers medals, rosaries, or other blessed items. These exchanges, though they may seem purely ceremonial to outside observers, represent the mutual respect and ongoing dialogue between the Church and temporal powers. For Monaco, maintaining strong ties with the Vatican reinforces its Catholic identity and provides spiritual guidance for a nation that, despite its reputation for wealth and glamour, takes its religious heritage seriously. The timing of this first audience also invites consideration of the broader context of European monarchy in the 21st century. Royal families across the continent are navigating the challenge of remaining relevant in increasingly secular societies while honoring their traditional roles and historical significance. Prince Albert has approached this challenge by focusing on meaningful causes rather than mere pageantry, using his platform to advocate for issues that transcend borders and affect humanity as a whole. His meeting with Pope Francis reinforces Monaco's position as a nation that honors its past while actively engaging with the future, combining centuries-old Catholic tradition with contemporary concerns about our planet's well-being and the welfare of all people. Monaco's relationship with the papacy extends back through generations of Grimaldi rulers, and several members of the family have had significant interactions with various popes throughout history. Prince Rainier, Albert's father, had audiences with multiple popes during his long reign from 1949 to 2005, and these meetings helped cement Monaco's status as a Catholic nation with special ties to the Holy See. Princess Grace's own Catholic faith was well documented, and she passed this devotion to her children, ensuring that the next generation of Monaco's rulers would maintain these spiritual connections. The Cathedral of Monaco, officially the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, serves as the spiritual heart of the Principality and houses the tombs of deceased Grimaldi princes and princesses including Princess Grace herself, creating a sacred space where the nation's temporal and spiritual histories intersect. For Princess Charlene, who converted to Catholicism before her marriage to Prince Albert, this audience with Pope Francis represents another step in her spiritual journey and her integration into the centuries-old traditions of Monaco's ruling family. Her path to this moment has not always been smooth, with various reports over the years suggesting she has struggled with the immense pressure and scrutiny that comes with royal life. However, her presence at the Vatican demonstrates her resilience and commitment to her role, standing as Monaco's princess and supporting her husband in his duties as sovereign prince. The couple's twins, Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, born in 2014, represent the future of the Grimaldi dynasty, and the values instilled in them including their Catholic faith will shape Monaco for generations to come. The broader implications of this meeting extend beyond Monaco's borders to touch on questions about the role of faith in public life, the relevance of monarchy in modern times, and the ways in which small nations can exercise influence on the global stage. Monaco may be tiny in geographic terms, but its outsized presence in international affairs, its commitment to environmental causes, and its maintenance of Catholic tradition make it a unique voice in European and world affairs. Prince Albert's audience with Pope Francis reminds us that diplomacy takes many forms and that spiritual leadership and temporal power can work together to address the challenges facing humanity. As we reflect on this historic meeting between Monaco's sovereign prince and princess and the leader of the world's more than 1 billion Catholics, we are reminded that some relationships transcend politics and geography, rooted instead in shared values, mutual respect, and a common commitment to serving something greater than ourselves. The images of Prince Albert and Princess Charlene at the Vatican will become part of Monaco's historical record, joining countless other moments when the Grimaldi family has engaged with the Catholic Church at the highest levels. These connections, maintained across centuries and through changing times, speak to the enduring power of faith and tradition even in our rapidly evolving modern world. So here is something to ponder as you consider this remarkable meeting between European royalty and the leader of the Catholic Church. In an age when traditional institutions face constant questioning and when the role of monarchy seems to many like a relic of a bygone era, what does this audience tell us about the continuing relevance of these ancient bonds between church and state? And can these centuries-old relationships offer something valuable to our contemporary world that pure secular governance cannot provide?